Hi, good afternoon. So I made the mistake of starting an hour earlier. I'm a little off. We're an hour later in Cape Town, so yeah, I went live actually at what was 2 o'clock in Central European time, but actually I meant to go live an hour later. So welcome again. Hello, Alessio, my dear. I don't know. There were two people that popped up, and I just dumped it. Just ran. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've started this so strangely. Anyway, welcome to everybody who is able to join today. I'm Jen from English with Jen. I teach conversation English every week on Instagram and now here on YouTube. Hello, Natalia, sweetie. Nice to have you on board. Wonderful to see you, or at least your name. So I'm Jen, Conversation English. Hello, Lorena, dear. Hello, hello. I hope that I didn't mess everyone up. It's not so windy. Yeah, yesterday was crazy, and last night it got really crazy. Hello, Milk, and welcome to you. So last night the wind was blowing so hard we were near the beach, as you know, but now we're back in Cape Town in this beautiful tree house. So it's a lot quieter today. But there was a fire somewhere on Table Mountain, and they put it out. So when we drove back into the city today, it smelled really intensely of smoke, but they've gotten that under control. They've had a lot of experience, I guess, with fire, so they're able to deal with it pretty quickly. So let me pull up our first poll question for those of you who've never seen a live lesson with me. I'm English with Jen. It's floating down here in the comments. Please let me know when I put the slides up if you can see me or not, because on my camera right now, I'm very to the right. So yeah, I've had it before where we've had live streams and I didn't realize that I wasn't even in the frame. So let me know, give me a heads up, please. We'll start with a nice poll question. Topic today is nationality. It's a nice topic. We started it yesterday on EWA. So for me right now, half of my face, more than half of my face is missing. If you can give me a heads up if I need to move in this direction, then let me know, please. And I can do that very easily. Or if it's fine, then I don't really need to see myself, whatever. So we have a poll question. Here it is. What would you miss most about your country if you lived abroad? Would you move? Hello, Yuki, sweetie. Hello. Can you all give me some feedback, please, as to whether you can see me or if half of me has been cut off? So what would you miss most? Would you miss the food, the mentality, nature and landscapes, or the weather? So yes, you are in perfect position. Very cool. Thank you for the feedback. All right. So you can perfectly. So for me, like this half of my face is gone. But that's good. Then I won't concentrate on my wrinkles. So I think A and B. Okay, so food and the mentality. And I have to say, living in Germany, for me, B, the American mentality, I miss that sometimes a lot. Yeah, Germans are great, but there's things that you understand most about your mentality. So Natalia's saying A and B. That was favorite mentality. Lorena, our Italian friend here, I would miss the food. So yeah, I would miss Italian food too if I came from Italy. Yeah, Alessio's too, food. Hello to you. Azal, hello, hello, welcome. We have a nice poll question, and I've put at the bottom of the screen a nice vocabulary word, homesick. So probably some of you know it already, but is that feeling that you feel when you're abroad, you're in another country, and you miss your home? Isa. Okay, thank you, darling. Thank you for letting me know. So yes. So homesick. So when I first moved to Germany, long time ago, 1996. So it was difficult to communicate with family. Calling home was very expensive. Sorry about the equipment outside. I hope that they will be quick. But yes. I don't know what they're doing. Hey, Renette. So you're saying nature and landscape and the weather. Okay, so not so much the mentality or the food. let's see what happens with this. We might go inside if this continues for a while. But when I moved to Germany, back to my story, I felt really homesick sometimes. And like in the United States, I never eat at fast food restaurants, and every once in a while I would have to go to McDonald's. It was the only place in Germany that I could find that it was close enough to something American. It smelled what I knew like. It looked like it, the greasy floors. So once a month when I would get really homesick, I would have to go to McDonald's and eat something I would never do in the United States. And actually, I should be embarrassed to say that that's what made me feel connected to the United States, but it did. So I did that. I felt very homesick sometimes when I first moved to Germany. So, okay, milk and everything. You would miss everything. Where are you from again? Please let me know. I can't remember. A little bit of food, but I miss the language the most. Okay, that's not on there. Yeah, it's sometimes very... It's underrated sometimes, where we take it for granted how much language is important to us to be able to communicate in a way that feels natural. I have that a lot. I like to make a lot of jokes, and I can't really do that in German. My German is not good enough, really, and the German language is just different than English. So yeah, language is also one that should totally be on the list. If anyone has anything else that they would add to our list here, please feel free to do so. So Isa, you would miss the food and the people. Nicaragua. Okay, but I'm living in the USA. Okay, cool. So let's see. Let's move on to our next thing, and I have a set of adjectives for us. So yeah, here we go. Adding our adjectives for today. Yes, here we go. So we have strong-willed, strong-willed, resilient, resilient. Long word number 3, entrepreneurial, entrepreneurial. 4, tech savvy, tech savvy. And number 5, reserved, which I think we had yesterday. So it's a nice little repeater. How many of these words are new for you? I'll go through the definitions. Let's see, with Yuki, I get frustrated with communication when I live in other countries. Yeah, sometimes it can be exhausting too, right? Is this too loud? I can just move inside. That can also be an option, to move inside if this is too loud. I was hoping this would be a quick fix here. I have no idea what's going on somewhere in this forest. Anyway, so A is knowledgeable and skilled, using technology and using technology. B, quiet and not showing emotions openly. C, able to recover quickly from challenges. I'm going to read these on my phone. I don't know about you, but I find them difficult to read. Maybe they're over. Let's hope this is over. So C, able to recover quickly from challenges. D, determined and not easily influenced. E, willing to take risks and start new adventures. And Isa, my dear, you're saying number 1 is B. So let's see, strong-willed. Number 1 is, D, you said, is correct. Hello, Michaela, darling. So 1 is D, exactly. So strong-willed is determined and not easily influenced. Strong-willed. What about resilient? Number 2. What can you tell me about resilient? Often I find that people who are strong-willed are often resilient. So what would you say works best with number 2? Number 1 was D. Number 2, okay, we got some answers coming in. All right. Let's see. Number 2 is C, absolutely. Resilient is C, and that is able to recover quickly from challenges. It's a great thing to be resilient. Number 3, entrepreneurial. I'll repeat that again because it's such a long word. Entrepreneurial. So what do we got for number 3? Okay, Lorena and Natalia are saying E. You are correct. Willing to take risks and to start new ventures. See, entrepreneurial. Number 4, tech savvy, something I am definitely not. 100% not. It's a joke that I do live streams on social media because I have no idea what I'm doing. I am not this at all. Number 4, okay, Natalia, you're saying A, which is correct. Knowledgeable and skilled in using technology. Yes, I am definitely not this. Tech savvy, I am not. Reserved. I think we had this one yesterday, but I like this. I'm trying to do this more often where we repeat things because I think that makes things stick. Just knowing myself, right? So, number 5, last but not least, is B. Thank you, Natalia. Quiet and not showing emotions openly. So, Yuki, yesterday you were saying that Japanese people are modest. Again, these are stereotypes. Not every Japanese person is modest. Not every Japanese person is potentially reserved. But when I think of a lot of Asian cultures in comparison to Western cultures, they're more reserved, right? They tend to be more, sorry, quiet and not showing emotions so much, so openly. Okay, so let's move on to our next point. We have our first banner of the day. Just if you don't mind, if at some point, I don't know if you're able to like the live stream during a live. If you can, that would be awesome, because sometimes then it will share it with other people that we are here live and doing things. So let me see. Number 1, here we go. Which of these or other adjectives would you use to describe your country, people in your country? Let's say people in your country. So your nationality. I'll go back and share with you the slide again. So you have some new words potentially. Let me go back and share that. So do any of these relate to people, to your nationality? Let's say that, since our topic is nationality. So strong-willed, resilient, entrepreneurial, tech-savvy, and reserved. Again, these are stereotypes. Not everybody is this way. But on the whole, would you use any of these words to describe people in your community, people where you come from? I would say a lot of Americans. Not a lot, but Americans tend to be entrepreneurial. Hello, Amelia. I'm glad you're new here. Welcome to our lesson. I'm Jen, and this is an English lesson. We're talking about nationality. Very happy to have you here. We have these words up at the top that we just matched with the definitions. Amelia, maybe you can tell us where you're from, and if any of those words at the top kind of match your nationality. How does it work? So I go live every single Wednesday here on this account, and we have a topic for the entire week. So the topic this week is nationality. Right now we have a slide with adjectives, and we're talking about adjectives that describe people in our country, our nationality, and then we'll move on to the next slide with information, with vocabulary and questions and things like that. So welcome to our community. Let us get to know you. And if anybody wants to share things that they feel might be related to their nationality, Italian people are friendly and generous. Okay. And would you say any of these up here, would you say they're strong-willed maybe, or would you say tech savvy? I would say Americans, I come from the United States. A lot of Americans tend to be entrepreneurial. It's very much like, the land of dreams. If you want to do something, then go for it. So I would say that would relate pretty well to Americans. All right, but let's move on, and let me remove this slide. Today is not windy. Yeah, it's not windy anymore, and I'm back in the city. Last night was intense. It was so loud. There were times where I'm like, do we need to leave? The sound like the whole house was gonna fall down. So Moldovan people are hospitable. Okay, so thank you for sharing, Natalia. All right, so then let's do this. I'm going to say, hold on. Okay, so we're going to play a little game like we did yesterday in our live stream. I'm going to get rid of these slides right here. Okay, and so I'm going to read to you Sorry, okay. I'm going to read to you 3 words to describe a nationality. Again, these are generalizations. Not everybody in these countries are this way. So let's just play a game that's a nice way of being able to practice adjectives. And yeah, so here we go. So guess which country these adjectives relate to, okay? So we would say, let's do this. Reserved, progressive, and independent. Which countries do you feel that these relate to? 4 was A. I think you're right. No, four was A, exactly. 4 was A. But now we're on to this question here. So here are my words for you: reserved, progressive, independent. If you were to hear these 3 adjectives describing a nationality, which nationality do you think it relates to the most? I would say reserved, progressive, independent. Not really Americans, I would say. Scandinavian people, yeah, absolutely. So Lorena, can you be a little more specific? We're definitely in the region of Scandinavia with the Scandinavian people. Which ones in particular am I thinking of? So 2 was C. Yes, you're right. 2 was C. You're working backwards. Russians are very wild. I have no idea. So Sweden. Yes, exactly. Sweden. Ding, ding, ding. You're all right. So Swedish people, Norwegian people, Finnish people perhaps are reserved, progressive, and independent. And I'm sure there are Scandinavians out there that are not this way. In fact, I have a Danish friend who's definitely not this way. But yeah. So anyway, just to practice these, here's another one. Think of which nationality this works with best. Disciplined, tech savvy, and ambitious. So disciplined, tech savvy, ambitious. Amelia, 3 was E. Yes, you are right. 3 was E. Can you repeat the question? Oh, absolutely, I said. So the question is, so here are 3 words to describe a culture, okay? And you have to guess which culture I'm trying to describe. So disciplined, tech savvy. We just learned that somebody who's good with technology, tech savvy, or ambitious and ambitious. So what do you think? Number 1 was D, Amelia. Number 1 was D. What can you tell me? So which nationality do you think I'm describing? Disciplined, tech savvy, ambitious. Again, I would definitely not think of Americans with these things. Ambitious, definitely, typically. Entrepreneurial, ambitious, these sorts of things. But yeah. German, okay. Yeah, the disciplined part for sure. You're welcome, dear. So tech savvy, not so sure. So Japanese, we are going into the Asian region. A lot of people saying Japanese, probably Japanese as well. But I'm not thinking Japanese. I've got another Asian country that is very tech savvy. Chinese as well. Yeah. Can you repeat all the correct answers? I can. So 1 was D, 2 is C, 3 is E, 4 is A, 5 is B. Chinese then. Okay. So I'm sure that a lot of Asian countries are disciplined, ambitious, and tech savvy. The one I was looking for is Korean as a nationality. Koreans are, maybe some of them, disciplined, tech savvy, ambitious. All right, here's one more. There we go. Yes. So from Korea, they are Koreans. Sorry for being late. No worries, Mohammed. You know what I'm going to say. Better late than never. So you think German? Yeah, I mean, German's a good guess, right? But I don't know how tech savvy Germans are really at the end of the day. So I was looking for Koreans. Here's our next set of 3. Okay, so guess the nationality. So don't give me the country, give me the nationality. So spiritual, hospitable, entrepreneurial. Spiritual's a good one. Hospitable, entrepreneurial. Which nationality do you think I'm thinking of? What can you tell me? South Korean, okay. North or South? Oh, sorry. Yes. So South Korean. Sorry. South Korean, probably. I should have been more specific about that. So India, Indians, exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Renit, you're right on it. Are you looking at my sheet here? So Indians, exactly. So not everyone, of course, but in essence, spiritual, hospitable, entrepreneurial. Y'all are good. This is really, wow, cool. Okay, so let's move on. Amelia, I hope you're still here. I've got another little quiz for you. We have vocabulary, Japanese, okay, in idioms or Indians. Yes, exactly. So people are from India or Indians. So let's move on to some new vocabulary words. You can let me know how many of these are new. These are some good ones, okay, that really have to do with nationality and moving and becoming part of a new community, because this all has to do with, with nationality. So here we go. We have cultural mosaic. We have melting pot, assimilation. These are tough words, okay? I really kicked it to you today. So we'll go through these kind of slowly. For those of you with a Latin-based language, some of these are probably pretty easy. So expatriate, immigrate, and immigrate. Immigrate and immigrate. So they sound the same. Yes. Here are our definitions. I will read them for us right quickly. Let me see. I don't want to miss out. I'm from Italy. Okay. I'm 2 hours away from Rome. I would describe people here tech savvy and a bit reserved. Okay. Nice. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So let's go through the definitions and then we'll start matching them. Number 1, then 2, then 3. Here we go. A place where people from different cultures keep their traditions but live together. B, a place where different cultures blend into one. C, when someone adopts a new culture and loses some of their old one. D, a person who lives in another country, usually for work or personal reasons. E, to leave your country to live in another. F, to move to a new country to live there. So what have we got for number 1? Isa, you're saying number 1 is A. Do we have any other answers for number 1? What can you tell me? For a cultural mosaic. And when a mosaic, or when you have the little tiny tiles, for my Italian friends out there, the piazza tiles, the fancy tiles, but when you have little tiles and you create a picture, you can think of like Roman floors as well. But when you create a picture out of little stones, out of little tiles, you create a mosaic. So what works best? So everyone's saying so far 1 is A, which is correct. Okay, so number 1, okay, I've screwed this one up. Okay, number 1 is A. Exactly, a place where people from different cultures keep their traditions but live together. Okay, so cultural mosaic. And what about a melting pot? Everybody's going with B. So a melting pot, a place where different cultures blend into one. Now, for me, to be quite honest, a lot of people describe the United States as a melting pot. But I don't know. Like, I find that in the States, there's still a lot of segregation. Like, if you think of New York, you have Chinatown, or you have a Little Italy, or you have a city where a lot of people live together. But yeah, there's still pockets of where different people live. So people always describe the United States as a melting pot. I'm not so sure. So, Natalia, you're saying 3 is C, which you are correct. Assimilation is when someone adopts a new culture and loses some of their old one. So this is like when in the United States, if you talk to a white person, a Caucasian person, like myself, for example, then we will tell you, yeah, I have Italian and French and Greek ancestry, but I have no idea. I don't know anything about the culture. I don't know anything about the language. I don't know anything about much of anything, right? Other than my American culture. And that is when people assimilate, when they know that they have different roots, but that's not so important anymore. It's more important to adapt to the customs and the language and what people do in that culture. Then you have assimilated. So then let's see. And number 4 is expatriate is D, a person who lives in another country, usually for work or for personal reasons. So I'm an expatriate, and short, you'll hear this quite often. You'll hear people say an expat. I'm an expat because it's just such a long word. So if you want to be kind of like quick about it, an expat. Has anybody here ever lived as an expat somewhere else, or do you currently live as an expat? Have you ever been an expat where you lived for a period of time? So this would not be vacation. This would maybe be 1 year, 2 years, something like that in another country. So maybe you can let me know whether you have or haven't. And so number 5, as you see, I've completely messed this one up again. Number 5, guess what, is E. So immigrate. So E. You've never been an expat. Okay, 5 is E, exactly, Isa. So number 5 is E, immigrate, which is to leave your country and to live in another, and immigrate. And we have these words and they're complicated. Even native speakers mix these up because they sound the same. Immigrate, immigrate. But the easy way to remember this is that number 5 starts with an E. So think of exit. It's a person leaving their country. They immigrate to a new country. And once you are in the country, you move to a new country and you live there, you immigrate. I immigrated from America. Okay, so that's how you can say that. So USA, no way, Amelia, very cool. Where in the USA were you an expat? So when you're in the country as a foreigner and you're living there as an expat, you immigrate, number 6. But when you're leaving, you can tell people I'm immigrating with an E because you are exiting, you are still in your country. I hope that clarifies that. This is annoying. If this is too annoying with bang, 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 and this guy's sawing around, we'll go inside. Just let me know. It's not a problem, okay? This is your lesson, and I'm not quite sure how annoying the sound is. Let me know. All right, so let's see. Let's do this. So my question to you is, do you know what a golden passport is? What's a golden passport? Can you tell me what a golden passport is? And if you do you know which countries are offering them? What's a golden passport? Sounds pretty cool, I think. What's a golden passport? Is that annoying? I'm losing people. So let's see. It's done. Sounds good, I think. Okay, the sound is good. All right. So what's a golden passport? And I'll write it down. So golden. And if you know of any countries that are offering them, then let me know. Golden passport. What is a golden passport? EM and IM are pronounced the same. Yes, immigrate. Exactly. So then to have that little bridge to know E, the E1 is the one where you exit, and I is when you're already in the country. It's fine. Okay, good. To buy foreign citizenship. Exactly. Do you know of any countries that are doing this? Because I have a nice little list of and actually there should be a 6th because it was offered to me if I wanted to do this for retirement purposes. I'm like, hello, Instagram. I'm not that old. Anyway, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries, 9, 10, and actually an 11th country. Do you know of any countries that are offering people a golden passport when you immigrate to a country to become a member of that society? So it's a special passport for some specific countries. Austria, I don't know about Austria. Wow, that's cool. I had no idea about Austria. Egypt as well. Okay. Are you guessing or you know these? Because this is not what I have in my research. I have some pretty cool places. So maybe we need to like save our money together and we can move. Dubai, I think. Maybe Dubai. It's not on my list. Malta is on my list, Michaela. Absolutely. Hold on. Let's see what you need to have to move to Malta. Okay. So the program is this: citizenship by investment. So you need to invest a minimum. So the least amount is $650,000 plus contributions for dependents. So you yourself need to pay 650. If you want any other family members to join you and to have this passport, then you need to spend more money. And you need to buy a property worth 350,000 euros. And you can receive this within 12 to 14 months. So if you want to move to Malta and you're a millionaire, you can do that. Let's see. Any other places? North Macedonia. I have no idea. Really? Okay, that's not on my list. USA. Not so sure about the USA. Greece, maybe. Malta, Spain, Portugal. Portugal's on my list. Let's see what we need if we want to get a golden passport to Portugal. All right, here we go. Portugal. So they offer you a residency via investment. Okay, so you need to spend between 280,000 to 500,000 depending on the region. So I guess if you're in a big city like Lisbon or so, you will need to spend 500,000 euros. And you need to start a business with 350,000, and residency is granted after 5 years, and citizenship after 6. So you can become a citizen after 6 years. Oman, I think. I don't know about Oman. Dominica, ding, ding, ding. We have that one too. Let's see what you need for that to get a golden passport. Here we go. Okay. So Dominica, citizenship by donation, the government. Okay, so you have to donate money to the government, to a governmental fund, or to a real estate investment. You only need $100,000 to apply, and you need to buy a house for $200,000. And it takes only about 3 to 4 months to get a golden visa, a golden passport there. So lots of cool places we have in the Caribbean Sea. I was offered Turkey as well. Somebody mentioned that, I think. Yes, Natalia, you said Turkey. So here we have, you need to invest 400,000, and let's see, it takes around 3 to 6 months to get your, I'm not sure what you get. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you get a passport or if you get a visa or what it is, but it takes 3 to 6 months and you need to invest 400,000. The Italian government recognizes tax advantages for foreign investors. And I have to say, we have friends that live in Lisbon, and they're European, so they didn't need the visa thing or the passport thing, the golden visa. But still, they have a lot of tax breaks for buying property there and fixing it up. Sometimes I think if it doesn't get out of control, it can be a really nice thing for a country to be able to have foreigners come in and invest and renovate old properties. China and Australia, maybe. I have no idea. I'm not sure. Yeah, advantages for that. But can you imagine wanting to do that? To have a golden visa or a passport from another country? Is that something that would be interesting to you? Maybe you can let me know. I think it could be interesting. I don't have any money, so none of this works for me. But if I did, it could be kind of interesting. Luxembourg, probably Luxembourg as well. Yeah, I would imagine it's something like that. Let's move on to some new vocabulary, and let's see what we've got. From our last list of vocabulary words, we had, hold on, let me see really quickly how many new words we had. We had cultural mosaic, melting pot, assimilation, expatriate, immigrate, and immigrate. So, how many of these words were new for you? We had 6 words. Can you let me know, just out of curiosity? I think probably we have a lot of Italians in our audience, so a lot of these were probably easy for you. But while you're maybe answering that, then I will continue on to our next slide. I think it is here. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Here we go. I've mixed something up. Maybe it's this one? Nope. Huh. All right. Well, I've mixed something up here. I don't know where this one is. Maybe I didn't end up doing that one. I don't know. Anyway, we're moving on to fashion. We're moving on to fun topics here. Which nationality do you think has the best fashion sense? The French, the Italian, the Japanese, the Americans, or to be very neutral and diplomatic, it depends. Can you repeat how many words from the list? Okay, I can repeat the list as well. So there was, I have to scroll back. I have so much information on the golden passport thing. So cultural mosaic, melting pot, assimilation, expatriate, immigrate, and immigrate. So we have Italians, of course, right? Italians and French. We have the French. We have A and B. All right. So we have a lot. This is a little bit unfair because we have only Italians here. I know that nobody is going to say D because we're the ones who brought in this whole horrible athleisure thing, where people run around in yoga pants. Yes. So I'm sorry about that the Americans have introduced that to the fashion world. Do my Italian friends? Do people run around in their yoga gear in the city, like they do in lots of other cities? I can't imagine that people do that there, but you never know, right? French, we have A and B. American, not at all. I know. We really ruined fashion, I think. So I'm with you. That's totally fair. All right. So, and with my Italian friends out there, and maybe everybody in this community, Natalia, you could let us know. And Isa, do people run around in your country, like the typical American, where they run around like they look like they just came from the gym, or they're coming from the gym, or is that something you would never see in your city? Is your nationality one that really dresses up and would never dress down like that? Can you let me know? Because I see it a lot here in Cape Town. Every woman looks like they either came from yoga or are going to yoga. Yeah, and that's the same a lot in the States for sure. Somewhat in Germany, not as much as here. I see it a lot in London, for example. Dress up in Moldova. Okay, so you would never run around in like your yoga pants. And all right, okay. So let's see. So I'm going to do kind of something fun. I hope it's fun. Where we're going to guess the nationality based on traditional clothing. Okay, this is just a fun way to practice nationalities, writing them, and yeah, coming up with them. So let me get rid of our slide here. All right. So here is the traditional item, and you can let me know which nationality it belongs to. So, kimono. What about a kimono? What can you tell me? What does a kimono, which country does a kimono belong to? Or which nationality? Which people wear kimonos? What can you tell me? Which people wear kimonos? Japanese, exactly. So the country is Japan, the nationality is Japanese. All right. Which nationality wears lederhosen? What can you tell me? Which nationality wears lederhosen? Which nationality wears lederhosen? That's cute, Yuki. With a kimono. Cute little emoji. Which nationality wears lederhosen? Leather, a lederhosen here. I will write it in the comments later. Yeah, hosen. Lederhosen. What do you think? This is a tough one, I guess. But this was going to be easy. China or South Korean? No, 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 no. So lederhosen, which country? And Michaela, you're right. Leder is leather. So what do you think? What country could that be? I'll give you a little hint. It's kind of northwest of Italy. Germans, exactly. Thank you, Natalia. Okay, so the next one is which nationality wears a kilt? Also Austria. That's true. That's true, Lorena. Germans and Austrians. Which nationality wears a kilt? What can you say? A kilt. I'll write it in the comments. K-I-L-T. Kilt. Which nationality wears a kilt? Okay, so Scotland is the country. So I'm looking for the nationality. What is the nationality for Scotland? What can you tell me? That's the country, but which people? Scottish, exactly, the Scottish, okay? Which nationality wears a sombrero? Yeah, which nationality wears a sombrero? I will write that in the comments. Sombrero. Doop. Oh, I don't know what it just pushed here. Sombrero. So which nationality wears a sombrero? Mexicans, exactly. Okay. And now this one I did not know. This one is for me very difficult. I will have to look it up. But I think it's called an agbada. Agbada? Agbada? Agbada. Okay, I'm going to look it up so I can show us, but I'll show us once you've tried to guess. Which nationality do you think that is? I had no idea. So let me see. Agbada. Which nationality do you think that is? Which one do you think? I had never heard of this. So your guess is as good as mine. Looks cool. Ooh, Natalia, you're good. But, oh, y'all are okay. Then I'm really out of the loop here. So yes, you're right. It's Nigerians. And for those of you who are like me, who have no clue, this is what they look like. So kind of like a tunic style, I think, with pants, kind of somehow. You're good. How did you know that? All right. So that's that. All right. A West African garment. All right. Okay, cool. One more. Y'all are so good at this. So let's see. And now I'm going to mispronounce this horribly as well. A thobe. Which country or which nationality, sorry, which nationality wears a thobe, I guess is the pronunciation. I will write it Thobe, and I will look this one up as well. Which nationality copy wears that? So don't give me the country, give me the nationality, please, so that we're practicing that. Anybody know which nationality? A thobe, I guess is the pronunciation. Oh, that looks very sleek. But Mohammed, if you're still here, I would think Egyptians wear this too. I don't know. So Arabian. Okay, so I have here, yes, Palestinians. Okay, let's see what else we've got. So I have Saudi Arabians as the answer, but maybe this is something that is a little bit more universal than just one country. Sorry, let me get to my picture again here and share it with you. I don't know if anybody is from here, but this is, I guess, the thobe is what it's called. I hope. Thobe. And it's like this, like a long tunic. It also, it does not seem to have pants, but it goes down very long. So unlike, yeah, Arabians. I guess it's an Arabian outfit, and not so Saudi Arabians is what I have as the nationality. Okay, thanks for playing my little game with me. Let's move on. And yeah, and Yuki, I hope you're still here because we started talking about this yesterday, and I was interested to learn that this is not true about Japan. So, what makes a country homogenous? And I'll repeat that word long, probably in your language, if for my Latin based friends, maybe, maybe not. Homogenous, homogenous, homogenous. So, what makes a country homogenous? And I have a whole list criterion. Maybe I'll know. We're going to Qatar in March, so I will be able to let you know if they wear the thobe. I guess let's find out the pronunciation. That's going to drive me crazy. I'll find out if they wear that or not because we will be there. I know that I don't have to wear one of those. I've looked it up. Was a little nervous. Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Okay, let's see. Thobe, like robe. Thobe, robe. It rhymes with robe. So yes, so we'll find out if they wear that in Qatar. So what makes a country homogenous? There are a lot of reasons why certain countries are very homogenous. Homogenous, you have a lot of the same type of people. Thobe means dress in Arabic. Thank you, Lorena. Leather was Leder. Lederhosen. Lederhosen was German. Leder is in German is leather. So leather pants. You see these men and they wear these leather pants. They're called leather pants, which is literally Lederhosen. Lederhosen. I think that's what you mean. I'm not sure. Okay, so what are some factors that can make a country homogenous? To give you an idea of where on earth I'm going with this, let me pull up some reasons. Number one reason is geography. Like if people who live on an island that are totally separated from other countries, they tend to be more homogenous. That's just really, yeah. So thank you, Natalia. Are geographically isolated or politically? Ooh, exactly. Like so, North Korea is 99% homogenous due to political reasons or religion or language, immigration. Definitely. Okay, cool, guys. Let's see, trying to find other things. Yes, that is my country. Okay, so you feel that you're homogenous because Yuki, I was surprised yesterday to hear you say that you have 5 or 6 different, how would you call that? Not tribes, but types of people, or I'm not sure how to say that. Scotland might be very homogenous, although they've had a lot of influence by the British and probably Irish, I'd imagine. I don't know. So other reasons why countries end up being homogenous, limited immigration. So if they don't allow a lot of foreigners to come in, I think that was the case in Japan for many years where there was no contact with anybody. It was just a very closed society. So that could be a reason. History could be that way. Geography, we said, because of shared customs. And if a country is homogenous, most people speak the same language. Most people have the same ethnicity. You asked me a question. What is it? I wanted to show, sorry, Mohammed, it's here. Let me try to see if I can find my pictures. Is this what the garment that you were telling us about yesterday? Is this what you meant the Egyptians wear? That was my question. So Italy is not geographically homogenous. No, you've had a lot of influence from all kinds of different countries. All right. Thinking of number 2, thank you, Michaela, for bringing us on to number 2. How homogenous do you think your country is? So this is kind of difficult. So percentage-wise, maybe, would you say it's like 50% homogenous, 20%? In Germany, I would say, I don't know. It's hard to say. America is definitely not homogenous. We have such a huge melting pot of people, a lot of influx of different people. Yeah, it is. Oh, cool. Okay, so a thobe. In English, I guess it's called. I'm not sure, but that's the information that I have. A thobe. So let's see. Germany is pretty homogenous. I think it depends on where you go. If you go to big cities, not so homogenous. Okay, Natalia, 50%. So Natalia, what other nationalities do you have in Moldova? Like in India? Yes. So in India, I'm not sure how homogenous it is because they have Pakistani people. Italy is about 50%. Okay. Maybe Germany's a little higher, I would say. Let's ask ChatGPT. If you want me to ask about your country, let me know your country. We can ask the bot. So how homogeneous is Germany in percentages? Middle Eastern in percentages. Okay. Albania is one of the most homogeneous populations in Europe, with non-Albanians accounting for less than 1/10 of the total population. Wow. Okay, that is very homogeneous. Then Arabian style. Okay. So ethnically German, around 75 to 80%. And in Germany, you have 3 to 4% Polish, 3 to 4% Turkish. Then you have 2% Polish, 2% Russian, and other things, I guess. Okay, so Germany is very homogenous. I think a country that has 80% rate is pretty high. Should we check out Italy just to see since we have so many Italians here? Bye. Dressed by, oh, I think you mean by Muslim men. All right, so let's see. Let's see how homogenous percentage-wise that our bot is telling us that Italy is. In my country, I have Iranian and some Afghans, okay? Because I think you're in Iran, right? Is Italy. Okay, so a lot, let's see. Let's see. It's taking a second. Ooh, so my Italian friends, okay? So ethnic Italians around 90 to 92%, according to ChatGPT, okay? Very homogenous. So, or Italy is relatively homogenous, but has a growing immigration population. So 90 to 92%, but I guess that population is growing. Let's see about Bulgarian, Russian, Moldovians, Ukrainians. No, I don't know that. I've never heard of these people. Ukrainianoa, Gaguas, and Turkish people. Okay, wow, I've never heard of those people. All right, so let's see. I'm curious to see about the United States, how homogenous it is. How homogenous is the United States? What are we guessing? I'm going to say, I'm not looking. I'm going to say the United States is about 40%. I'm going to say 40%. So United States is one of the most diverse countries in the world. Here's a general breakdown. And I guess it's kind of complicated with the United States because actually the Native Americans are the people who were there first. So it's, yeah, I don't know how to do that. In Italy, it will be 50% in 5 years, in my opinion. I hear you. Okay. I saw some pics and it's a beautiful country. Okay, good, Amelia. I'm so glad you're participating so nicely. So America is not homogenous. It's very diverse. Anybody else want me to look for your country to see how homogenous it is? If not, we will move on to our next point. Okay, so Gaguas, they speak a Turkish language dialect. Wow, okay. And you know what, I'm going to pull up a map of Moldova because I want to see, like, how did they end up there? Moldova. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I think this is going to be the right way around. So we have, can you see that? Okay, so we have Moldova here, right? And then we have Turkey down here. So how did these, was this a long time ago during the Ottoman Empire or so that these people ended up in Moldova? Maybe you can let me know if you know. You would say 60%, I think. It's way lower. My percentage is very different. I think there are more immigrants. Yeah, if you have other information, let me know. This is just what ChatGPT offered. And maybe it also depends on if you're in a big city or in a small town or village. I notice that a lot, for example, in Germany and big cities, it's very multicultural. There are lots of different nationalities. But the second that you get outside of big cities, then it's really homogenous. So during the Ottoman Empire. Okay, thank you. Actually, nowadays, owing to the immigration, have a lot of different cultures shared by old and new immigrants. It has increased crimes and small ones. Okay. In Italy, for example, between North and South, there are significant differences concerning cuisines, architecture, and habits. Yes, I've heard that too. Natalia, especially, they live in the southern part of our country. Okay. Amelia, they come from North Africa and Eastern Europe, mainly. Differences. Yes, there are a lot of differences. Okay, thanks, guys, so much for sharing that. And yeah, because you can feel like your country is not homogenous within your country. I think, Lorena, that's a very interesting point. Because there are, like you say, a lot of differences between northern Italy and southern Italy, and that can sometimes feel like not having a homogenous society even within your own society. It's a very interesting point. All right, let's see what else you have to say. They have their own autonomy here. Okay, all right. For example, Amelia, Sicily got influenced by Arabic style regarding architecture and cuisine. Okay, yeah. And I've heard, don't, shoot me here, that often in northern Italy that they're more sort of akin to sort of like the Austrian German kind of mentality where it's more about working and organization and efficiency. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. I don't know. You can let me know. And all of these things, there's going to be people who are both or not or whatever. So this is generalizations. Don't kill me in the comments, please. All right, so let's move on to a little quiz, and I've already told you one. The most. So I have. Hold on. That's true. Okay, so that is true. Let's get rid of this real quick, and let me throw up our banner. And let's see. So, which countries are the most homogenous? So we've talked about North Korea. Over 99% of the population is ethnically Korean. And I think it was you, Lorena, or Michaela, I'm not quite sure, who pointed out that for political reasons, you can also have a very homogenous society. So, they have almost no immigration or ethnic diversity due to strict government control and isolation. So, North Korea is one. We talked about Japan. Around 98% of the population is ethnically Japanese. Strict immigration policies and strong cultural identity maintain this homogeneity. That's a hard word to say. Homogeneity. Try to say that 5 times fast. Yeah, it's true, especially in some regions in the north. Okay, I don't want to generalize. It's just what I've heard. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3 more countries that are very strongly, like in the high 90s or in the 90s, that are homogenous. Can you kind of guess where they are? Yeah, I'm not sure if this is Asia or not. But yeah, so I've got 3 more countries. Which other countries on the planet are considered very homogenous? Let's see if you can guess them. What other countries, excuse me, are homogenous? We've said sorry, North Korea, Japan, North Korea and Japan, and I've got three other ones. I have one for sure in Asia. I think two. Poland, no, not on my list. Like, we can take a look and see how homogenous Poland is while you're guessing, out of curiosity. How about Poland? Let's see. Oh, oh, it should totally be on this list. Oh my goodness, Michaela. I don't know. So it's saying that actually that Poland is one of the most homogenous countries in Europe, 96 to 98%. So that should totally have been on the list. Korea, Lorena, exactly. South as well. Canada, I'm not so sure. Turkey, I'm not. Oh, let me go back to my list. I don't think Turkey is on the list. The Netherlands is not. We don't have anything. I don't know if this country is European. I think it is. But okay, we have one guess here that's correct. South Korea. More than 95% of the population is ethnically Korean. Although immigration is increasing, the country remains largely homogenous. So I have North Korea, South Korea, now Poland, but it wasn't on my list. Japan, and I'm looking for two other ones that are very so Israel, yeah, maybe that's not on here either. ChatGPT, I think I need to pay for the version so I get better service. It's leading me in such crazy ways where I just have to research things more, I guess. But it's good that you look and you know these things, we can correct it. It's also part of the learning fun. Okay, so the other country I'm thinking of here, unless you have statistics and numbers you can add to this, please. Iceland. So Iceland is over 93% of Icelanders are of Nordic and Celtic descent. The country has a small population and relatively low immigration, keeping it highly homogenous. So Iceland is very, I know that in Iceland, is it Iceland or Finland? I'm not going to go with that because I'm not sure if it's Iceland or Finland. But Iceland is one. And also, this is one I didn't realize. Bangladesh. More than 98% of the population is ethnically Bengali, making it one of the most homogenous in terms of ethnicity and language. So you have Ireland, Taiwan, Israel. We have Portugal on there. Let's check Taiwan. I'm curious what the bot is going to tell us about Taiwan. How about Taiwan? And then we'll move on. Sorry. Let's see where this is going. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so Thailand is relatively homogenous, but has some ethnic diversity. Yeah, so it's 95 to 97% Han Chinese. But these numbers don't make sense. I don't know. I'm not sure about Taiwan. Somebody needs to look that up if you're curious, because it's telling me stuff that goes over 100, so I don't really know what this means. Okay. Or maybe Han's Chinese, and then there's these different brackets. They break it up. Then they break it up. So 95 to 75% Chinese. Han Chinese, not just Chinese, Han Chinese. We'll take a look at Portugal really quickly. Portugal, and then we'll move on. I hope y'all are not bored. I don't know. I get sidetracked with these things and want to know things. So we'll move on to the next point in just a second. I'll get rid of this banner and see what we've got. So it's 94 to 90% ethnic Portuguese. So that is also very, very homogenous, is relatively homogenous. I don't know why I'm saying relatively. For me, 94 to 96 sounds very homogenous, but okay. South and North Korea. Exactly. They were definitely, both of those were on our list. So let's see where we're headed to next. I've got a banner for us, and let's see. So what do you think is unique about your nationality? So something that you feel is just so kind of special somehow about your nationality. And to kind of give you an example, I can tell you that, for example, a lot of Germans, when they talk about Americans, they will say, "Oh, they're so superficial." Hold on, let me see. superficial. And that's when like everything is on the surface. Like, how are you? And don't really care. And while there is a lot of that as well, I will pin that comment up there. I think that's going to ditch that superficial. So a lot of Germans will tell me, oh, if you get invited when you travel to the United States and you get invited to someone's home, they don't really mean it. I've heard this story from so many different people, and I'm wondering how many people actually have ever been invited to an American's home that didn't mean it. Because I travel a lot, and I've only been invited to someone's home one time. And they meant it, not an American here in South Africa, but it's rare you go on vacation and someone will invite you to their home, right? So every German will tell this story about Americans, but I don't think Americans are superficial at all. No, well, some are, and sometimes, but also Americans do something very lovely, where, for example, if you are sick or you've had a baby or someone dies, your community will organize lunch and dinner for you for like as long as you need it. Your community will get together and they will prepare some, like I would do it tonight, Yuki does it tomorrow, Alessio does it the next day. So they organize, they create a calendar called called meal trains, and they organize these things for people when they're going through a good time, like having a new baby and just want to be around the baby and don't want to cook and go to the grocery store, or when someone dies or something like that, or someone is really sick. And I've never had Germans ever do something like that for me. I do this all the time for people in my neighborhood, because this is something I know, but I think this is something that is very special that Americans do. I don't know this from other cultures. Maybe you do this as well in your culture, but what is something that I think that makes your culture unique? And for me, I think what I'm trying to say here is that my culture really sees community, that we're in this game together, the game of life together. And when something bad happens to you, how can I help? And there's this sense of community that I really love and I miss very much in Germany. Yes, a very supportive, sweet system. Yuki, did you experience that when you lived in the United States? North Korea has a strong dictatorial government indeed. Yes, you're right. So anything that you can share, Yuki, what is something special, something like that, that Japanese people do? For my Italian friends out there, is there something that you feel is just so uniquely, something nice about your nationality that you've not really experienced somewhere else that you can share? I know this is kind of one of these hard questions that maybe later on you have an answer to and you're like, I could have said this. So if that is the case, please feel free to comment later on in the comments section and share that unique thing about your nationality. I would love to hear it. So Renit, what makes my country so distinctive and special is the fact that nature has gifted Albania very generously. That's nicely worded. With mountains and such a small area and amazing coastal landscapes not far away. All right, nice. Beautifully worded, Renee. We do a similar thing in the countryside, but not in the city anymore. Yeah, I think in the city, I'm not so sure, but I find that even in American cities, you kind of have small communities. And if your kids go to school, or if you're in a church, or you're somehow in a community organization, these things would still happen in a big city as well. But no pressure here. If you can't think of anything right now, there's something unique about your nationality, then something nice that people do, or something fun or interesting that you've just not noticed in other places, then you can always answer later. No stress. It's one of those questions where if you have a prepared answer, it's great. But if you're asked on the spot, it's kind of like, I don't know. Our ancient culture. That's true. Yeah. Your ancient, important culture. Definitely. Aperitivo. Ooh, I love aperitivo. A pre-dinner ritual where friends and family gather to enjoy light drinks and snack. I love that, Michaela. Perfect example, right? That's so Italian and enjoying life. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. We'll move on to our next point. If anybody else wants to add anything, you're more than welcome to do so. If you can't think of anything right now, like I said, write it in the comments when you're done. No stress. So let's move on to our last question of the day. So, yes, Alessia's laughing. He knows I like my imperativo. So let's see. Last question of the day. What have I got for you here? All right. Which nationality would you like to know more about and why? Like which nationality fascinates you? I don't know why, but like I feel like there's certain nationalities that I'm totally drawn to, and there's not really a rational reason why. You just for some reason you just find them fascinating. I feel that way about the French culture. I really am interested. In saying this, it's not like I study French. It's not like I know French. It's not like look at the history and things like that. But there's some countries where you're just kind of like, the French or the Italians or the Japanese or whatever. So which cultures interest you? Which ones would you maybe like to have a golden passport for? Something along those lines where you would like to be able to explore them a little bit more. What can you tell me? Yuki, we always try to be polite to everyone as much as possible. That is our nationality. That's nice. That's a good thing. Okay. But what if somebody's horrible to you, Yuki? I'm attracted by the Japanese culture, right? So you're attracted to the Japanese culture, attracted to the Japanese culture. All right, I'm attracted to the French, to the Italian culture, also to the Japanese culture. I have to say, actually, most cultures, but there's certain like an affinity, like it's just an extra special attraction somehow to some cultures more than others for whatever reason. Does anybody else have a culture they would like to share, that they would like to get to know better? Ranit, to all of the nationalities, every nationality has something rare. It's true. There's so much to learn from all of the people on our planet. It's so nice that we have such a varied planet. I would say Japanese and Thai culture. Okay. So nice. Okay. Anybody else have one to share? Otherwise, I will slowly but surely say goodbye. Just for those of you who don't already follow my account, you can find it right there, floating along right there. You can find me here every Wednesday at this time. Next week will be a little bit different than normal because I will go live with Mike. If you've not seen the movie, let me write this down in the comments. We're going to do the film, Everything. Has anybody seen Everywhere All at Once? I'm just typing this. I'm not worrying about punctuation. Hold on, here we go. All right, so Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. This is the film that we will review next week on Iwa on Tuesday. And I will try to I won't do a live stream on Iwa next Tuesday other than this one. This movie is so cool. It's so visually so interesting. So if you've not seen this film, then I highly recommend it. It's a cool action, heart sort of felt movie. It's really, really good. Lovely bird hum. Yeah, it's very nice. So I won't do a live stream on Iwa, but I will try to do something on Wednesday. I'll try to make it based on the movie somehow, like not based on this character and that scene. So if you don't see the movie, who cares? But try to take themes from the movie because it's a very deep and interesting movie. And I think we can have a lot of fun exploring that. So if you want, check out that film. We will do that next week on Tuesday. There will not be a live stream after that live stream on Tuesday. But I will go live on Wednesday and offer us something. Actually, just see. Yes, I think Wednesday. And offer us a nice lesson, based on themes in that. So, Lorena, what did you say? I'm fascinated about Eastern culture like Japanese, Korean, because they are totally different from Italian culture. Yeah, I think the things that are so different are really attractive. I have the same thing. I hear you. Okay, folks. So wishing you all a lovely evening. I'm going to go slowly but surely. It's 5:15 here. I will talk to my son and then have my aperitivo. I hope you have a lovely rest of the week, and I hope to see you next week. And thank you very much for participating. If you get a second, if you could please, please, please like this. It helps the algorithm to sort of push my live streams. They're kind of like boom at the moment. So that would help me big time. Thank you. Take care and see you soon. Bye.